Hi, Trinity friends and family. It's Rob Kaczynski here, Pastor Rob. Just wanted to walk you through a little bit about the upcoming details that we will put into procedure as you come back to church on July 5th. It's going to be a little bit different, as we've said before. There are going to be some temptations to do some things that we hope to prevent. So my hope today is to pretend that I'm a new coming worshiper, a person coming back after 4 months, and walk you through exactly what you will be doing as we come back to church this coming July. So come join me and we will begin worshiping together. The first thing that you're going to notice is that the doors, the entranceways to the church, are going to be opened at all time. And the reason why we are having them opened for you in advance is so that there won't be any potential spreading of possibility of germs, the virus, when you touch the door handles. It also helps us out to desanitize after the worship services. As you walk inside of church, you're going to see the greeter.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing? I haven't seen you so.
Oh.
That's right. I forgot. We're social distancing, and even though we just want to see our friends and the people that we are back with again, we just can't do that. We can't give them a hug, or we can't even shake their hands because we want to enforce social distancing as much as we can. Now, before we start getting comments, yes, I am not wearing a mask, so you can actually hear me as we record this. But when anyone enters Trinity at any time, we do ask that each person wears a mask and practices good social distancing. If you forgot to bring your own mask, we will have disposable masks available for you to pick up just inside of the doors. Because we only have one entranceway that we are utilizing upon our return, that is the one off the parking lot, everybody will be focused in on this main hallway area. To keep everybody focused, we have these arrows that are on the ground to keep you on the straight and narrow path as we go into the sanctuary. The reason why we are doing this is so we don't have many people walking throughout the buildings, and we don't have many areas that we have to sanitize after that Sunday morning. Again, we want to observe 6 feet whenever possible to minimize contact between individuals. As you enter into the lobby area of the church, you'll notice that there are going to be multiple hand sanitizing stations. We want to encourage you to use them as often as possible so as to consistently reduce this onset of the virus that could potentially be on us and we may not even be aware. So be sure to utilize these. And then make your way into the connection card station. The connection card station is good. We'll have 2 tables set up over here. There will be pens and the connection cards, which will be much smaller than normal. It'll just ask your name and which service you're attending and your telephone number and or email. Fill that out, and then you're going to drop it in a slot right next to the connection card tables. If you have a prayer request, we want to encourage you to continue on as you have been throughout this lockdown time. Email your prayer requests in, or you could call the office. And if you do that, then we'll be sure to get them on the prayer list. After you fill out your connection card, you could take this pen that was on the table home with you. It's a great way to evangelize. If you want to just leave it somewhere, maybe at a bank or at a gym, you just wipe it down, make sure it's nicely sanitized, and then just leave it there. But be sure to take this pen with you as a way just to, again, reduce multiple contact points. Please make your way after you fill out your connection card and you drop it inside of the slot that is right here. This is also the place, if you have your offering for the week, your offering envelope, you could also drop it in there, and that'll get to the office and it'll be recorded for you. After you filled out your connection card and the offering and you dropped it off, follow the arrows and make your way into the sanctuary. If you are a person who normally goes to the balcony and chooses to take that as your seat, I want you to notice that for the next couple of weeks, we will be using that area as an overflow. That will be restricted for people who come in, unless if we have an abundance of people attend at one time, then we will open up the balcony. As you make your way into the vestibule area, you'll probably happen upon the second or perhaps third person that you normally see inside of Trinity, and that's usually the usher. And Sarah, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Great. Because of COVID-19 and the possibility of spread, we are not having bulletins for a couple of weeks until things get a little bit more back to normal. Everything will be projected for you, and you will be able to see everything that you need to on the screens in our sanctuary. Because we are offsetting rows each service, we ask that you follow the row color identified by the usher so as to enable us to sanitize each row aisle properly. When you enter the sanctuary, the usher will tell you which color pew to sit in. Simply look for an open pew marked with a color dot. You'll notice that there are a few things different as you look at your pews. You'll notice that there are blue painter's tape with a big X on it marked. There are no pew cushions that you have traditionally seen, so things may be just a little bit more less comfortable. And there are no hymnals or Bibles inside of the pews. Whether you're a single person or a family of 5, you have the one spot that is reserved for you that is not marked by the X. This whole section is identified for one household, so if you come as a single person or a couple, you get the whole section to yourself. That is just to assure that we have as much space as possible in between people. Worship is going to look a little bit different too than how you've traditionally known it. There will not be any singing, there won't be any passing of the peace, there won't even be communion for at least a couple of weeks until we feel secure that the virus has stopped or has been mitigated enough. So the big question is, what do you do? What's worship going to be like? Like, if I don't sing in worship, what's that even going to feel like? There will be people leading songs, just so you're aware. They will be singing up there for us, but you can hum along as you're wearing your mask. You could close your eyes and meditate. You could pray at that time when you're hearing the songs and the wonderful hymns that we have come to love in this church. Even though things are a little bit different, it'll still be a very worshipful experience for all of us. After the service has concluded, we ask everybody to exit in a fashionable way. Nobody will dismiss you, but we're asking that you allow the front pews to leave first and exit, and then follow accordingly. As you make your way out, we ask that you come through the front doors and you make your way out towards the door off of Railroad Street and down to the ramp and then to your car in the parking lot. If you feel like you're unable to do that, you may go to the hallway that you entered into and go to your car that way. Please stay as close as you can to the walls so as to avoid other people if possible. Just a reminder that before and after the service, the lobby will not be open for socialization. I know it will be a temptation to meet up with old friends and church family, but we're asking that we refrain from that for the time being. Also, for the first week, there will not be any childcare or there will not be any Sunday school, so please note that. If while you're in worship you have a child who is a little bit unruly, we welcome you to come out here and bring your child, but we ask that you do not go back into the worship service until afterwards. And that is just to allow us to create the physical space that we really need. I know all of these changes to coming into church and even worshiping in church may feel a little bit restrictive. Some may feel it's even a little bit over the top. But we're doing this out of an abundance of Christian love. Christian love towards those who may be a little more vulnerable, but really to protect our community and our family of faith. Above all, it's God's love that we are really trying to flourish and to really help spread while not spreading a virus. If we enact these measures, we firmly believe this will help us get back to church in a way that we normally do much more quickly, but also help us love our community even more.